He was mid-sentence. The crowd was electric, and then everything stopped. It was a typical Trump rally, the kind that fills arenas and commands news cycles. Thousands had packed in hours early. The energy was undeniable. But nobody knew that within minutes this event would become something no one in that room or watching at home would ever forget. President Trump walked out to a thunderous roar. He was in rare form, energetic, commanding, sharp. The speech had been building momentum, and the crowd, they were hanging on every word. Somewhere in the middle of the crowd, something was wrong. A woman, later described by witnesses as appearing suddenly pale, unsteady, began to show signs of distress. Those around her noticed first. And then, one voice cut through the noise. "Medic!" the shout rang out. And in that split second, one of the most powerful men in the world did something that would define this moment forever. He stopped. Mid-sentence, mid-thought. He stopped. For a man known for never losing the room, for always controlling the moment, this pause was remarkable. The teleprompter kept scrolling. He didn't follow it. And then came the words. Words that instantly went viral. "Do you have a doctor in the house?" he asked. Not with frustration, not with irritation, with genuine, unmistakable concern. Within seconds, event staff and medical personnel began moving through the crowd. The choreography of crisis response unfolding in real time, right in the middle of a presidential rally. Then came the three words that would send the internet into a frenzy. Take your time. He reassured the crowd. He reassured her. He wasn't going anywhere. The speech, the schedule, could wait. In a country bitterly divided, what happened next was rare. People, regardless of who they voted for, found themselves moved. Even critics paused. Because in that moment, what they saw wasn't a politician. It was a human being. Moments like these don't happen in a vacuum. Trump rallies draw tens of thousands. Long hours of standing, high temperatures, intense emotion, medical incidents, as rare as they are a reality of large-scale events. But how a leader responds to one? That tells a story all its own. Clips of the moment hit social media within minutes, within hours, millions of views. The phrase, "take your time," was trending. Supporters praised it. Even some opponents admitted they weren't expecting that. The woman was attended to by medical staff. Reports indicated she had experienced what appeared to be a fainting episode, not uncommon in densely packed, emotionally charged environments. She was treated on site. And as word spread through the crowd that she was okay, a collective exhale. With calm restored, Trump returned to his speech. But something in the room had shifted. The connection between speaker and crowd, already electric, had deepened. Because they had all shared something real. In politics, image is everything. But unscripted moments, those are where truth lives. No speechwriter planned this. No campaign advisor prompted it. What we saw was instinct. And instinct, whether you love him or loathe him, is impossible to fake. By the next morning, every major network had covered it. Cable news ran the clip on loop. Political commentators, from both sides of the aisle, weighed in. The moment had taken on a life of its own. Of course, not everyone saw it the same way. Some critics argued the pause was brief, performative. Others said it was simply the right thing to do and shouldn't be celebrated as extraordinary. The debate was immediate and fierce. This isn't the first time a president or a candidate has had to navigate an in-crowd emergency. But rare is the moment it becomes a defining clip of a campaign. Rare is the moment where the response itself becomes the story. This was one of those moments. In an era of manufactured outrage and scripted moments, the hunger for authenticity is real. People are exhausted by the performance of politics. And so when something raw, unscripted, and unmistakably human breaks through, it travels. It resonates. It reminds us that behind the rallies, behind the rhetoric, are people. Just people. Whether you're a supporter, a critic, or somewhere in between. What happened at that rally was a reminder of something we sometimes forget in the noise. Moments of humanity still happen. They still matter. And sometimes, the most powerful thing a leader can do is simply stop. Subscribe for more moments that the mainstream media buries. Hit the bell, because the next story might be even bigger.